to the point that they might come in every, 3 or 4 weeks for like more like a maintenance type of thing.
Right.
And those people certainly get better faster. They're much better patients in the terms of caring about their health and their fitness. The people that do both, that we give them rehab exercise to do before and after a class in CrossFit, and it really, really works well. And they also tend to, once we start working with them, they'll tend to get gains quicker for the most part than other people that are just doing CrossFit, because now maybe their posture is better, or they could get into better positions to do things. And then when they first come in, just because they don't have pain, they don't understand it. But once they start to see gains in other aspects, and you've done the CrossFit thing before, it's to the people that don't know it, it might not be exciting to them, but to some people that are struggling and making their gains, being able to get into better position, to be able to use levers better and stuff like that, they get excited, and then they come back and they realize that just because I don't have pain, I still want to come in here to work on these weaknesses and work on different things, muscle imbalances and whatnot, to make gains there, and then long term they understand the benefit of preventing injury outside of CrossFit.
That's excellent.
And then
I think you're making an excellent point there, in that, like you have been around CrossFit for a couple of years, quite a few years, and it's that idea of performance based, and CrossFit is performance based. It's measured in a way in which it's performance based, and people have a ladder of progression of mastering these movements and these skills. Chiropractic, it's performance based. I mean, at least for many chiropractic models out there. Now there are some doctors out there that may be operating solely in a pain model, and that may not necessarily apply in this situation. But even then, the idea that I'm getting a chiropractic adjustment because it's enhancing my performance, not because it's making my pain go away. And that, I think, is a powerful idea when you use the combination of the two. Now, how did you get involved with CrossFit, briefly? I mean, that's something that's kind of, everybody has their CrossFit story. I think everybody has their chiropractic story. What's your CrossFit story?
My old office was in Matthews, North Carolina, which was about 1.5 miles away from CrossFit Charlotte. So I had a chiropractic friend that said, Brian, I think you'd like this. So I went there one day, he introduced me. I went back at 6 a.m. to a class, and man, might have been like Filthy 50 or something. It was a disaster, whatever it was. It's like, oh, you look like you're in shape, you could do this. And as much as I hated it, I loved it. And my old office was about 30 miles away. I was driving 4 days a week to the 6 a.m. class, waking up at like 4:45, getting there at 6 a.m., going into work at 7:30. And I saw the owner would, if people would complain about an injury, he would say, oh, you should go see Dr. Strump. He's a chiropractor right around the block. Or we would kind of talk to people in there about stretching and trigger points and mobility and stuff like that. So I saw then how they could kind of work together. And I never really felt that model could work in a big global gym. One, because people care less about performance. The majority of people, like 80 to 90% of people, are there just because somebody told them to go to the gym. So it didn't work nearly as well, and these people cared about their health more and cared about performance more. So it went a little bit more hand in hand. So and that's just kind of how I got into it. I didn't get too many people out of it. I didn't do it to get patients. I did it because I liked it. But I saw people were asking me questions, and I was like, I think this might work. And I knew that Kelly in San Francisco did something like it, and I was like, I searched around for somebody's model to copy, and there wasn't really too much stuff out there. So we just kind of winged it and just put it together. It's been hard work, and it's a lot if you don't have people. We have some good trainers and some good people that we could trust in here. So it's run a little bit different than the usual just plain CrossFit model, as far as the owner teaching and doing everything. But it's great, and it doesn't feel like work, which is what I always wanted to have to come to the office. 6 a.m. comes early, but I don't feel like it's work.
Right.